Right. What's going on, everybody? Hi. Better late than never, eh? What we doing? What's new? What's good? What's popping? What's locking? We are playing more Vampire game. If I can... Okay. Hello? Please? Oh no. Okay. Well, we will be playing more Vampire game. Once I figure out why it's not working. Oh god, where... Yeah. Alright, try this again. Perfect. Loading. Little bat games. Here we go. Alright, we're in. Just had to do a quick little, give it a good slap here. Alright, where we left off last time. How's everyone doing? Look good. Sorry about the bit of a late start today. Had a late night. Back to the club bangers. What's going on? I don't know. Did I read the journal entry? Clients ramblings. Ended up going to the forest. Oops. All right.
Yeah, I guess so. Still ain't sure I'm the right therapist for that fella.
Well, yeah, at the end of the last stream, we ended up dealing with Lord Lucius, or whatever the hell that guy's name is, the alter ego of the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde of the fella there, the scientist guy. And that did not go well. I think we pulled our gun on him like twice. We also went through and did the other woman who seemed to Isabella, I think her name is, who seemed to take a shine to us afterwards.
There may not be a right therapist for him, but let us think positively. He has put himself in your care, and that is a tremendous step.
Correct.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm thinking it's gonna be an uphill battle, though.
At least his core distortion is clear, don't you think? You know what it is, I am sure.
Oh, this is the emotional reasoning? I think it's personalization?
It's personalization, right?
Of course, a distortion common to many with narcissistic tendencies.
He's a narcissist. Who would have guessed?
Yep, it's the Edmund Keane show, all day, every day.
I recognize your disdain, but pause a moment. It must be difficult for Edmund to make everything all about him all the time, don't you think?
I don't know, probably.
He doesn't have to make everything about him, though.
He doesn't know that. Keep digging, Samuel. You will find his truth.
Alright.
Choose your distortions well.
Edmund Keane, the Shakespearean... Well, it gave me these. Gave me these other two as options in the selection screen for like his key distortion. So I think that might be a good call. I think overgeneralization and control fallacies are also going to be pretty good.
I think I'm all holstered up now.
Very good.
Hopefully we don't have to pull a gun on this guy.
And compassion.
See you later, Andy.
Bye, Andy.
Now, what did Andy teach me? Breathe. I think I'm ready. Right on time. I think I hear him coming. Hey, Edmund, good to see you. How
Hello.
you been feeling these past few weeks?
Welcome, Edmund. How are you?
Empty, my dear boy. Empty. I am but a vessel made for a single purpose. But alas, and alack, that purpose is in supply most rare.
Okay.
You mean acting, right?
Aye, that's the rub. Acting, my dear boy. Acting. My thespian blood goes rancid with stagnation, and the only cure seems to me irreprehensible now.
Well, thank you very much.
It's time to drink.
It is time to drink water. And it is indeed time to drink water because Flippy says so. Hi, buddy. Welcome on in. Fuck, I had all that time to prepare for stream. I didn't refill my water. Yes, vampire therapy. This is Vampire Therapist, and we are Sam Walls, a vampire, and also a therapist. We are in the loving care of a man named Andy and Modius or some shit like that. I forgot his name off the top of my head right now. We're in a goth nightclub. That's why you hear the thumpy bangy sounds downstairs. That's some good shit right there. We're in a European goth nightclub, and we are providing therapy to vampires. And honestly, it's going better than I thought it would. However, we did pull a gun on some guy. One of our last clients got a little uppity, and I whipped my fucking gun out, which I didn't even realize he had on him, because it's not like in his character model, like in his like design at all, that he has a gun. He just looks like a cowboy. And I also didn't expect him to have a gun, like in Europe.
I do not wish to face these mortal directors, for they dare to tell me my art.
Yes, one of our clients has a drug problem, and he decided after the first session we had with him and giving him some information that he could think on about should statements, that he would kind of self-destruct a little bit and can like take the drugs that he's addicted to almost every day. And he brought that drug into the therapy session and took it as a kind of show that like, oh, like should statements are, I know, right? See, that's why we're all here. Hi, Smurfy, welcome on in. We're all here to get a little vampire therapy. It does say that this game was made in collaboration with actual therapists, though that you should not use it as a therapy tool unless you are in fact a vampire. So if you are a vampire and you do need therapy, this is a game for you. Needs therapy, raw dog life. I don't know about that one. So we are dealing with Edmund Keane, who is a Shakespearean actor and a vampire who I think is about 300 or 400 years old. We've got an interesting crew of people you'll kind of meet along the way here if you're just tuning in. This is the third person out of 4 that we meet. There is another, the last person that we come up with here, whose name is Medi, is a 2,000-year-old Irish bog witch vampire who's become a bit of a shut-in and gotten rather popular on the streaming platform Glitch for, what was it? It was Overcharge 2 or over something 2 and some other one. It was a like FPS and RPG title drop that was like very close to Overwatch and I think Genshin Impact. I think it was like Pension Impact or something like that. It was funny. But she's also a very interesting lady. Edmund is a narcissist who kind of uses a lot of personalization to make everything about him. He also apparently has vampire powers of intense gaslighting, so much so that he can distort reality. And Sam Walls here, our lovely boy, our sweet, sweet therapy boy, has a vampire power himself. It has something to do with horses and treating people like a horse. And it calms them down in the way that you do a startled horse. And for some reason, it works.
Ain't that what directors are supposed to do?
Oh, my dear boy. Some are born great, some achieve greatness, and others have greatness thrust upon them.
Oh shit, that's Uncle Ben. It's my favorite rice.
No director can thrust greatness upon the already great. In mine own case, mine greatness hath already been achieved.
Right, alright.
Well, maybe you can help me understand a little better. You said that greatness was thrust upon you, right?
It's alright.
How did that happen?
Ah, you are curious to hear what circumstances created this actor non-pare. I cannot blame you. Well, recounting such a history will please me indeed.
I'm glad, yeah, just talk about yourself, man.
I first rattled the foundations of the stage as a mere babe. Indeed, too young for memory, and yet old enough to command attention.
Okay.
clad only in swaddling cloth at the age of 4. I was Cupid himself. But my arrows seemingly went astray, for the entirety of the audience fell in love with me. It is the stuff of legend. For tender as my mind was, I could not bear witness to my own greatness. But it does prove that I was indeed born great.
Okay.
But you said greatness was thrust upon you.
It was a matter of necessity. You may not guess it from my gentle speech, but I am no lordling. Selfishly, and surely to spite me, my father shuffled off his mortal coil when I was but a babe in arms, ere I ever graced the stage. It left my mother and myself in dire straits.
Okay. I need to double check what personalization is. Oh. Oh. Hold on, I can do this. This. Personalization, gotta refresh my brain. Often we assume things happen because of us. Yeah, so you blame yourself for your dad dying, and that was the cause, like you... I think that's just a personalization.
Hold on a second.
There we go.
You said your old man died selfishly. Well, what do you mean?
Well, what kind of a father drinks himself to death when he has a beautiful baby son at home?
Okay.
I at least waited until my son was older before I did the same.
Yeah, good for you.
Eddie, come on. Listen to yourself. I'm sure you didn't die to spite your son, just as your pa didn't die to spite you. I ain't gonna deny his choices hurt you, but they weren't all about you.
Forgive me then. 'Tis ever the fate of an actor to feel every emotion more keenly. The situation my mother and I were left in was most precarious.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We were the lowest of the low, you see. We lived in the rookeries and begged for our bread. But he that hath wit must make content with his fortune's fit. And oh, did we beg. She was my Queen Gertrude, and I her filthy little Hamlet. Did I mention I played Hamlet at age 14?
No, but you have now.
No, I hadn't heard that.
Well, anyway, my mother was a competent actress, but it was my wit alone that saved us from destitution.
Oh, wait, no.
Edmund is discounting his mother's contribution to his survival almost entirely.
Well, anyway.
Control fallacy or disqualifying the
but it was my
positive?
wit alone that saved us from destitution.
Edmund
Okay.
is discounting his...
Well,
It sounds like your mother did a lot for you. I'm sure the people loved you, but could you have done it alone?
I suppose my dramaturgical purpose would have been lost without a scene partner. But it
Dramaturgical.
was I whom the throngs came to see.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't saying that ain't the case, but you might be disqualifying your mother's contribution to your greatness, right?
I don't see how that is relevant, but I suppose so. Let me continue unabated, sir.
I'm not gonna just let you yap at me. Unabated, sir. This is a therapy session. Yes. That is the... You've got it. That's the plot, baby. We came to Europe. No, I know. Don't worry. It gets worse. We came to Europe to talk to the guy that showed up earlier in blue. He's talking to me telepathically. That's why he's blue. He looks like a hologram. Obi-Wan! And so... Yeah, we're at a goth nightclub. We are an American cowboy. We died in the 1800s. I don't know what year it is now. Obviously, a time in life where you have goth nightclubs, so...
Forsooth, I was so prodigious that, at the age of 7, I garnered the attention of one Reginald Flopbot of the Worthington Flopbots.
Yeah, sure, dude. You just said words.
'Twas he who paid to get me off the streets
Oh, hello.
and into the dormitories.
Welcome on
He
in.
said, Edmund, my cherub, the streets are not for you. One day, you will be the greatest of actors.
The man really rucked up and was like, he's not for the streets. Hey, how's it going? Welcome on in. We're playing more vampire therapy. Oh, fuck.
Hey, how about that? You went and proved him right.
Thank you. It's time to drink water. I actually need to go get more water. I just finished off the last little bit of it. I guess I forgot to refill it before stream because I'm an idiot. Hi, Flippy, hi, Bot. How's it going? Hi, everybody.
Piffle. Master Flop
Piffle.
never gave a fig about my potential. I was a prop to him, a symbol of his generosity and high breeding. Every month, he would stage an elaborate party with all the well-to-do society of London. The dandy Fop would stand upon a dais and announce himself as the savior of the city's poor. That was my cue. I would be lowered down from the rooftop, wearing naught but swaddling clothes and a set of opulent wings.
Okay.
The gentry's delight was my dungeon, but I would flit among them, reprising my breakout role as Cupid by shooting little arrows of love at them.
What? Oh, what the fuck? Dude, people haven't fucking... Oh, my brother in Christ. Oh my god. I mean, I guess if there's any time to be doing a physical activity, it is during a stream about therapy, because physical health is also important for mental health.
What did he say?
Oh my god. You know, you should stretch before you do physical activity, but you know what, here we are. I'm already standing. Oh, brother! Ugh. Stretch at the same time. There's nothing funny about this man being flown around on wires in front of rich people as a poor child. He's so traumatized. Look at him. Look at this poor bastard.
At the age of 7, it was most disquieting.
Oh, 7.
At 11, on the cusp of manhood, the shame was too much to bear.
You're not a bear wolf, you're a vampire.
Dang, Eddie, that sounds awful. That flopball fella had no right to do that to you.
No, indeed. I remember my last performance quite vividly. The titters and leering glances from the guests linger ever in the back of my mind.
I'm sure that is what Edmund is thinking about his traumatic past.
And fool that I was, I played my part still. I should have plunged mine arrows into that fool Flopbot's chest instead of shaming myself.
Okay.
I swore that night to never be a puppet again. I stole away and gave myself to the mercy of Poseidon. The bargain was struck, and he swallowed up my hated swaddling clothes and wings. In desperation, I signed on with a mercantile shipping agency. I thought perhaps that my body would bend more than my soul.
Interesting. There was a breathing exercise in this game that you had to like breathe in and breathe out and like clear your thoughts, and it was like a whole thing, and I forgot I had that sound clip as a redeem, and Archeon played that during that, and it was very funny.
But oh, did I toil.
Holy shit.
Life upon the sea is most cruel.
Oh.
Biting winds did carve my visage. Low words hardened my heart, and heavy weights left me bent.
Mm-hmm.
By the time I had fulfilled my bargain with the Lord of the Sea, I had become an older man, my efforts etched into every crease on my face.
Dang, sounds intense. How long were you at this job?
I want him to say a week. Like, I want him to be like, oh, I was there for like a month.
An age, a life, 6 months, each one a hungry leech torn from my bleeding body.
Y'all are wasting points. Getting shelled and shredded. Nah, don't worry. I don't need to. I'm not gonna. That's never gonna happen. Well, I mean, I'm sure it could. Don't take that as a challenge or anything, alright? Just like, I mean, I need it. I'm out of shape as hell.
I am convinced this gauntlet was prepared for me alone. For ne'er in history has one so blessed by grace been subjected to such toil.
You worked on a ship for 6 months.
Eddie, I gotta stop you there. It's gonna be a lot easier to accept your truth when you realize you ain't alone in your suffering.
I'm going to shred him. Yeah, you're gonna be like a little cheese grater to me. I'm gonna get so shredded off of you. That's what I call my gym coach. It's my little cheese grater.
Hell, there ain't nothing more human than suffering.
Sounds weird.
And
Nah,
historically,
come
kids
on.
ain't had it so good.
Come on, sugar bat. Come on, my little cheese grater. My sugar lump.
But none suffered as I suffered. A boy such as I was not meant for such misery.
You know, is it like Havarti? I don't know if I should feed into that one. I know where that's going immediately. Listen, you should talk to a doctor about that, especially if you need a cheese grater to remove it.
Compadre, I had my first kill in no home at 12 years old. My brother had a stutter his whole life on account of the regular beatings my stepdaddy gave him.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Make him feel bad about saying he worked hard on a ship for 6 months. Yeah.
Maybe your suffering felt like the only suffering in the world, but it wasn't. And it'll hurt less when you realize you weren't alone. But keep telling me your story. I already know there ain't nobody like you in the world, so don't worry on that account.
Yeah, we kind of figured that one out. My man's out here being fucking unique as hell. Ah, yes, that's it. Sugar bet that we translated that from the hot goth couple Reinhardt and Moxie, who we have sucked upon before in the kink room, but not in that way. They let Sam feed on them because they're a little horny about it. Peg them. That was apparently in the cards. That was on the table. Yeah, there's a kink room. We're in a European nightclub, a goth European nightclub. People fuck, all right? He's not too keen on it. He's a little bit still oh boy, maybe don't talk about that so openly kind of a deal. But everyone else is, I wish I lived in Europe, me too. Yes, the cowboy is also a vampire. What, do you think these are contacts? You think I'm at an anime convention? I got searing red eyes.
Now then, at last, we close the circle, as nature ever demands. I return to London, and into the graces of my dear Uncle Moses and his comely mistress, Charlotte.
Okay, I don't know if you want to... Listen. I don't know if you want to call your uncle's wife or something... I don't know, that's just a... That's fair. Yeah, you know what? That's all. Yeah, you're right. A cowboy is a vampire.
'Twas she who filled my dramaturgical quiver with dire arrows, fletched by the bard himself. And when my deft fingers plucked the bow of humanity, at last I was free.
I was your vampire. Do you remember that song? I don't think so. Vampire, maybe. I think it's coming to me.
Huh?
Sorry, I'll repeat myself. It's Marilyn Manson. Ah. Then I was thinking of a different song, and I don't know what song that was, but I haven't listened to a Marilyn Manson song in a minute.
I cannot speak more plainly. The good woman taught me the works of Shakespeare, and armed with this knowledge, I conquered the stage and saved myself from toil.
Oh, well, right.
Yeah, no, that made sense. I got that too, Sam. Don't worry. This guy talks all pretty, and I don't understand him.
And so, you see, the die was cast from the moment I was born. The stage was made for me, and it was my skill upon it that saved me from the streets, and saved me once again from a life at sea.
It's very interesting how our siblings can kind of impact those kinds of things. Especially older and younger siblings, kind of getting into that stuff. No relation. Yeah. Couldn't have been. You're your own person. But it's very interesting as well from someone from a perspective who I'm a triplet. And so we all grew up doing the same stuff at the same time, listening to more or less the same music, and but we all became such different people despite having the same upbringing, at least in parts. You know what I mean? So it was oh wow, because I grew we all listened to the stations that my parents did when we were in the car driving around and stuff, and they but yeah, it was very interesting to me to see that kind of turn out, like especially music taste wise, because like my sister was like big into country music. I liked, you know, heavy metal, rock, folk music, that kind of stuff, and then my brother liked rap music and like that kind of like rap and hip hop and that kind of stuff. And it was like, oh wow, like even there, it was just like, wow, these are three different picks from the same like listening experiences, which I always found kind of interesting. Anyway, sorry, I'm yapping. I was born, the stage was made for me. That's a personalization though, is it not?
Eddie, my man, I got some good news and bad news for you. The truth of the matter is, fate doesn't give a stable full of horse shit about you.
A stable full of horse shit about you. Interesting. King of the Yappington? Ah, yes. I'm King Yappington.
Ain't none of us are that special. The world ain't waiting for us to show up. It's just gonna keep turning.
Perhaps you are right, my dear boy. You are correct. My success was not because of the fates, but in spite of them.
Alright, yeah, you know what? If you gotta find a reason to live, spite does work.
The fates said, Edmund, you are a child of the slums. But I shamed the immortal hags in my own manner. The stage roused my spirit. Thus I knew my destiny lay upon it.
Control fallacy? Nope.
Edmund is conflating his emotions with divinations, but I would question his divinity.
The stage roused.
Edmund is
Emotional reasoning?
You got it, amigo. You wanted the stage to be your ticket out of the bad days.
Listen. Alright, you just gotta go to therapy and then someone can control your fallacy, okay? Like, listen, I'm here. I have a lot of tentacles. I can control a lot of fallacies if I need to. Just, not right now. I'm in a session, okay? Calm down. Get back under the desk.
Maybe that's why you were so successful.
Can't wait for my OnlyFans. Yeah.
You keep pushing to be better.
I gotta hit up Sept.
So,
What did he say?
the threat of the rookeries loomed ever upon my overladen spirit. Acting
What is a
presented
rookery?
itself as a way to keep myself out of them. It is natural that I should weigh its importance so heavily.
Okay.
I can see why acting means so much to you, Eddie. I probably feel damn near the same about the things that got me out of my bad days.
Thank you. Then you understand how my alienation from the theater does pain me so. And yet, the cure is as deadly as the illness.
Okay.
These damnable
Oh, hi.
critics,
Welcome.
not a single lifetime among them, and they deign to challenge my interpretation of the written word.
Hey, welcome on in, Death. How are you? What's going on, everybody? How you been? It's new. What's good? This is Vampire Therapist. Things are going well. This is Edmund Keene. We're trying to therapize him. So if you're here to watch a vampire receive therapy, and me click all the wrong buttons because I get cognitive distortions confused, you're in the right stream. It's actually a really fun game. I was actually thinking earlier today that I kind of wanted to try the Fallout London mod, because that just came out a little while ago, and I would like to have a little bit more Fallout in my life, and I've heard really good things about it so far, so that might be the next thing we jump into.
They simply cannot relate to my singular experience.
Okay.
I will bear my soul upon that stage, and they will all sneer and malign it on their internet profiles.
Damn crazy. God damn it.
For someone that lives for adulation, Edmund has a dim view of his fans, don't you think?
They simply cannot
Okay,
relate to my
disqualifying the
singular
positive?
experience.
Well, Eddie, the way I see it, you're not on stage doing vampire plays. You're portraying the whole human experience.
Yeah.
If you want your audience to respect you, you gotta respect your audience. They might not have lived a long time, but they're still human.
Scarcely. Critics are but an afterbirth of creation. But as you say, they are humans, and for certain they do bleed.
Yeah, they are sad about the internet. That is the truth. One of them works on the internet, but most of them are just like, I don't know about this one, champ. Which, I mean, does make sense. They are like 300-400 years old, a lot of these guys. So, I don't know, man. The internet does seem like a weird thing, and I more or less grew up with it.
So keep that in mind, and you might find your job easier. I took a look at your Wikipedia entry last night, Eddie. Maybe you've had a few bad critics here and there, but history says you're a legend, and your work speaks for itself.
Hell yeah. Good for you, Eddie. You're doing a great job.
Hell, you were around before film was ever a thing, and people still remember you.
Again, I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing for a vampire.
Ah, your words warm me, as an ersatz son for the one we have forsaken. With thy help shall I gird my soul mayhap, and grace the stage once more.
Well, let's talk about that then. What's the biggest thing stopping you from getting back up on that stage right now?
Tell me more.
That it all simply might not be worth it. Why should I bear my damned soul when the audience hath not the sight to see it?
Maybe I can ask you a question then. What if there were no audience?
No audience? Do you know what a stage is, sir? It is a platform where life in brief may be portrayed. It is a platform because it is separate from the audience.
Okay.
Without such, the stage ceases to be a stage.
As in, if a tree falls in the woods and no one's around to hear it, does it make a sound?
It's pretty good. All right, Sam. I like where you're going. We're cooking here. Let him cook, chat.
Simply but elegantly put, my dear boy. Without the audience, the stage loses all meaning, like a monarch without a kingdom.
Disqualifying the positive?
Just a minute there, partner. You're saying that the stage is nothing without the audience. But I gotta ask you, where does the acting come from?
We are, like, giving this guy some shit to think about. This guy's gonna have a breakdown.
Ah, but from simple tongues, the purest of queries, narrow in breadth, but as deep as the sea. The source of acting is everything, my boy.
Okay.
The beating of every heart, the cry of every child, the fluttering of a butterfly's wings.
All right.
The roots of acting are intertwined with those of life itself.
So does acting come from the audience or from everything?
Well, I mean, like, if the audience is a part of everything, then I guess from everything.
My dear boy, you prove yet again, as the bard oft did, that 'tis the fool who sees the truth as it is. I bow to your simple wisdom.
I mean, technically, like, he's a Shakespearean actor, and so, like, I think he's doing, like, plays and like those kinds of things, not like movies and stuff. Though I don't really know. I figure he could do both. But then, you know, there comes the question of if vampires can't see their reflections, like, are they able to be caught on camera? Because, like, I don't know, that's not, I guess they're different, but at the same time, I don't know, man, maybe I'm just too dumb.
Thanks, I guess.
Thank you.
Let's figure out how we can bring it back to acting. Forget the audience. I know we can't see in mirrors and all, but what do you think of filming yourself?
Okay, well, I guess this might just answer the question. So vampires up and being, God, thank you. Yeah, oh yeah, no, for real. He really was just like, God damn, you talk so dumb that you said something smart. That's incredible. Wow, thank you.
Brilliant notion. Yes, I shall become my own audience. I shall bring myself to rapture. Forsooth, if I cannot pleasure myself, whom can I pleasure?
Yeah. Hey man, you been to Only Zealots? I think you might do well there.
We're still talking about acting, right?
What is sex but an act?
Oh, my dear boy. The pleasures of the flesh are secondary to one who knows character above all else. Indeed, we speak of the noble art.
Okay.
I shall do as you suggest. If there is one on this lonely orb that can inspire an artist such as I, it is myself.
Yes, Lonely Orb. Yeah, alright. I get the feeling that you might not enjoy watching yourself act, and it's probably going to make you feel bad.
I ain't sure I'd put it exactly that way, but I think you're touching on the thing we've been talking about. The motivation's got to come from you, amigo.
Now, listen, I don't think you want to be talking about touching one thing or another either way, because you were confused about what we were talking about when you said filming yourself, and something about pleasure. So like, don't get it twisted here, there, Edmund.
We are of one mind, dear boy. Perhaps I left my muse in the mortal realm, but I shall find him once more. Not only for myself, but also for my public.
All right.
Yea, the masses flock to my Wikipedia page as moths to a flame, each a silent plea for the return of the one true artisan of the stage.
I feel like that's
Now hold your horses
horse
there,
sound.
fella.
Oh yay,
You're reading
horse
a little
sounds.
Too much into the whole Wikipedia thing. There's 1.5 million reasons why people might be looking you up.
It's true.
I mean, I hear tell the biggest Wikipedia page out there is the one for that coronavirus that got all them mortals all worked up, and I'm pretty sure they don't want that coming back.
That is a crazy pull that they threw into this game. Good for you.
And thus dost thou scuttle a burgeoning friendship with the cannons of enmity. Why must you challenge me so?
That's my job, compadre. Ain't we had some good breakthroughs today? We couldn't have gotten there if I'd been busy agreeing with everything you said.
It is true.
Oh, very well. But I still say you are most vexatious.
I've been called worse. I think we got some homework for you, though, right? You're gonna film yourself and do some acting for its own sake.
There you go. Good for you.
We'll check back in a few weeks. But Eddie, I think you're doing great. We made a lot of progress today.
Yeah, I can't wait to see your home video.
Naturally, the human condition is my oeuvre. Nevertheless, you are a competent guide. You have reminded me of what is most important in unlife. Me. I should like to give you a gift.
Okay.
Oh, come on. You don't need to do nothing like that.
Nonsense.
It's a
It
headshot.
is beyond price for you. It is my headshot, signed with my autograph.
Well, that's very nice of you.
Oh, thanks, Eddie.
Cherish it always. If you help me to find my muse, then it is a gift even more precious. And I will find it ere we next meet. Of that, I promise you.
Oh, good. I'm glad you're feeling a bit more motivated.
Well, let's not put the pressure on, amigo. Just enjoy some acting. That's all I'm asking for. I'll see you in a few weeks then, okay?
Verily, so it shall be. Godspeed then, boy. Thou shalt witness me new and on. Farewell.
I love